Right, it's great to have you here today, Altaf. Really looking forward to this call. Really appreciate you taking the time to jump on. We're going to talk a little bit about your experience working with me as a coach. Where you were before, where you are now. The struggles, all the roadblocks, all of that good stuff, your journey. I don't know if you want to just jump on a little bit, tell a little bit about yourself. Where you were before you found like coaching with me, your struggles. All of that good stuff.
Sure, ma'am. It's been glad that we meet after a long time. Definitely, glad to be my initial struggle because before we even have this, I know we were not that actually connected before in whatever the place we were. Later, when I know that you have your own offer that you are helping people, I know I had to go in because obviously I'm stuck in the same place like almost for 1.5 year, and then I saw no progress. But I heard your story, like you went from like crazy heights, and obviously I know that you will have all my answers for my struggles. So that's why I approached you. And then our initial call, I will never forget that because like I know I was like a little rat, if you say it like that, because like I have confidence issues. I was not able to charge, but I know I have skills. Okay. The main thing was like mental blocks. Plus also I didn't saw that we can pull big money. That's the main thing. Okay. Plus also there were too many different kind of stuff that which you helped me get into out. Like for example, the accountability stuff, because I know that I wouldn't be that accountable if you left the whole thing on me. But like 3 weeks straight in, like you were messaging me like how's things going on, like what's the progress and all. Then I know like if I didn't if I didn't work anything on that, then you'll kick my ass. Honestly, you'll dig more into my life and all. Like I don't want to bother your time on me like that. So that's why I took ownership, and then slowly, what I did was like I saw what you're teaching and all. Plus also I know a lot of things has to do with the mental framework, because the whole thing is like I was kind of thinking all this thing is unworthy for me, like I'm not worthy. Plus also I have a lot of confidence issues, possibly because I'm from third world, but maybe the stigma is in my mind. But once you clear up that like it doesn't matter where you're from, like we are in online. Okay, like I barely remember that, but I know that you said that it doesn't matter if you're from like third world, second world, first world. We are all online. It's like we're an online citizenship, basically, if you can term that. The only thing which matters is like you need to pull the trigger and then show your worth. That massively hit, and obviously, early age obviously hit you hard.
Yeah, there you go. So it's just like a positioning thing, man. And like you said, a worthiness thing that led into the lack of your positioning. But I remember the first like sort of onboarding call, really well. And you're saying like I'm doing all this work for really like big brands, like brands we all know. They were like not respecting your time, not seeing the value in your work. You were probably making them with like the pages and stuff you'd built and the copy you'd written, like all of that stuff would have been making them a bunch of money. Yet here you are getting peanuts. I remember like you saying, I can't, there's something about just charging that $1,000. I just can't do it. I can't like seem to get past that. And then it was
Yeah.
only maybe what, like 3, 4 months later, and you were smashing like
3
5K,
months.
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's 4 months exactly. So we had a call in January, and then I said like the maximum I ever charged was like 1,000. Okay. For some reason I was not able to bring myself together that I can charge more than 1,000. Okay. Every time I try to quote a price, like whenever they say what's the quote, what's the price, I would hesitate and like will take like 1 hour just to make message them that okay it's, and then I pause. I will charge like I use it like 50% and then send it to him, so that I think like okay I will get the deal. But in the end, like most of them like either neglect that, or some will take the deal and will be a pain in the ass. Okay, that's how it went. Like because I was exhausted in multiple different ways, and I just want answers like properly, like, because I know what I'm worth, but I cannot internalize it properly, and I cannot show that to others. So that affected the way I speak, the way I present myself. Obviously, they didn't take seriously. Only once when I saw that there are people who are making way more money with a lot of with just very okay say with just like 30% of my skill set,
Yeah.
they are making like 100% more than me. So it was completely unfair. Like my mind just fused off for a minute. Like my whole belief system shattered off. Um, it took some time, and then I talked. I mean, that was the first time when I was fully active, and then I was into talking with everyone and all. Before that, even though I had in multiple different courses and all, never interacted with anyone. It's just me and the content, and that's it. Obviously, I understood like I got the content, but I was not implementing it. I know that like implementation is the main thing. But even in the implementation, if there isn't someone who can guide you, or if there isn't someone like who can exactly pinpoint what's the issue and what to solve it, then I know like it will be a pain in the ass, because like I lost so much amount of time just to fix those issues. Okay, I thought I was smart enough to go with that, but I was stupid. Obviously, I was stupid. I mean, we all been in that place. Now I understand that like we all been in this place. Once we understand the taste of being having a mentor, that speeds up everything. Okay. So I remember that when you said you had to double your price and then don't think if they want to take it or not, just double your price and say it.
Yeah.
So I tried quoting it, but somehow they resisted it, and then prices went down. Look, for example, my first client, which I closed was quoted in 2000 USD, and then it went to 2000 CAD. Okay, basically it was a 700 difference, like 1400. Okay, fine. He accepted my work, but I think I should have to push more. Um, a few things happened upon there, but afterwards I got to know about Ollie and you. How you? Oh, I can't forget this. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the moment first I thought, like, instead of just going for, like, just hunting for clients and all, why not take complete ownership of the client which I have, propose him a new deal, take complete risk, and then do something with all my creative powers. Because I know, like, now I know that I can do my whole stuff. I know the skills I have. Only thing which I was suffering was from my self-worth. So I fixed whole thing, did all the work for him, and then we launched it. In 3 days, we made like 11.9, basically 12K. So it's like 3 to 4 days we made 12K. Like I was like, holy shit, is it impossible? In just 3 to 4 days, bro, like massive. That was the first time which I saw like a big money.
Mhm.
And from then I never charged less.
There you go. And that's what I want to like, really get across to people is like it wasn't new skills, it wasn't more time by the laptop, it wasn't like a bunch more clients. It was just like the way you position yourself and the way we set these deals up and the value you bring to the table compared to someone else that's just viewed as a commodity. Like it completely flipped the script for you. Yes, we had to flip that internal script first, so you felt worthy of stepping into that. But like I said, you didn't do any more work. You didn't do any, I didn't have to take a new course to learn new skills. We leveraged what you already had, showed you the worth so you could show that worth to the clients. And like there we go. Like you said, went from not being able to charge 1,000 to landing deals that you wouldn't even quote like building an offer that's producing cash you wouldn't even been able to imagine. So I mean, it's crazy. The wins are really cool, and even just the like the transformation in you, how you carry yourself, the confidence, you're glowing. Like tiny things like eye contact, how you speak, like the way I can see the confidence in you now, and obviously the clients will see that as well. And it's like now
Yeah.
we want to get away from all of the times that we're doing tasks and not getting paid, right? And that's the things like outreach, prospecting, you're doing all these tasks, you're spending hours by the laptop, and it's not coming back for you. Like I said, you're attracting poor clients with it. Poor clients hang around with poor clients. So even if you do get a referral, it's someone you don't want. Now, like you've completely flipped that script and you're on that like positive wheel instead. It's like an upward spiral. You get good result for this person. You don't have to outreach. This person tells his friend. It's like I know you're one of the people that within the group your pipeline was always full. Like other people, I'd have to check in. Like are you doing your outbound? Are you applying here? Are you like trying to get new business in? And you were like I'm stacked. I've got clients coming back to me. Got
Yeah.
me up. So do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
So when after the first call, like you and Tristan said to me that you need to do 5 outreach a day, and then it should be 5 days a week. So I was too lazy for that. So what I did was like I watched Ollie's call and I took all your notes from a call, and then the whole thing which I did was like, okay, I need to charge double, plus also I need to position myself better. Okay, plus I shouldn't have to be a commodity. I already have skills which I'm using. So the whole thing is like positioning. So I took like very personally about the positioning part, and I took like I mean I took it to a degree that I didn't even send 5 outreach a day. So if you imagine from January second week till February third week or somewhere, I think in complete 1 month I only sent like 22 or 23 outreach, and that I got four. Yeah, I got four booked calls. One was no show. I was in call with three, close to two of them. That's it. From then I never did outreach.
Boom. And
Yep.
that's what I'm trying to give to people, right? It's like, people see outreach as this, like, oh, I've got to do it forever. I've got to prospect all day. I've got to always have this thing for. It's like, yeah, you do have to always have a pipeline full, but like, just because coaches have tricked you into thinking that you need to constantly do outreach to get that pipeline full doesn't mean it's true. Like you can have a nurtured, warm pipeline of cash ready people ready to like that trust you, ready to buy, just from like your work speaking from itself. And all of that comes from the positioning. And like, just for the context of the call, like you mentioned Dolly, so like someone else within the group, he's younger than both of us. And there was a period where he was making crazy cash, right? And it obviously helped both of us. It was like, well, like if this young dude can make money, like why are we limiting ourselves to these numbers? Let's raise this bar and like get it up there as well. So I think like that's a cool side of it as well. You mentioned obviously the accountability with me, but what was it like just being around like a community of people that are also on the same mission? They want to push for the same thing. They're there holding you accountable as well. You're like getting fired up by other people. Like was that a big help or not really?
Obviously, it was big help because I was never in that environment. So the basic thing was I was never in such environment. Plus, all I knew was my friends and then few YouTubers like whom I see, and then a few Facebook posts. That's it. No one was that close. Like no one was in like first connection to see. So that's why I always thought that it's something beyond me. So once I saw like it's in my first connection, and then they're talking to me, they're telling me what's the issue, what's the thing. And to be honest, there are a few things which you guys recognized in me and told me that like I'm very good in that before I even know that. Okay. Okay. Then I understood like you need to have a set of group of people who can see your worth and then show you, but also they should be above you, obviously. Only then you can grow.
Yeah, That's it, bro.
Yep.
And that's like exactly what I want to give to people, right? Is like that magnetic effect. Like you put yourself out there and position yourself well, the right clients come to you, the right clients hang around with the right clients, you get them in the right rooms, your name's being discussed around the right tables, and then it's only a matter of time before your pipeline's full and you never send an outreach again. Like just for my business this year, we're 1st of July, so just over halfway through the year, and I've made over double what I made in the all of last year,
Oh
just
shit.
and I've sent no outreach for the entire year, so it's like it's happened for you, it's happened for me, it's happened for a lot of the other guys in the group. Like this outreach sort of, I don't want to call it a lie because it is necessary, right? You do need that first like big fish. We need to, acquire a good A player, and the way to do that is by positioning yourself with value. Showing them how you can actually help their business, showing them that you're a complement to the business. And how you turn up is all of that as well. A lot of freelancers will turn up, get the first invoice paid, ghost them for a week. Like won't have visibility on your project, no transparency, no communication, not turning up like a professional. Like we obviously gave you all of that as well. So when you did turn up, you were a professional. But that's it. Now you're off that outreach flywheel, and it looks after itself. So I think that's so cool to see it in full effect. It's cool to obviously like make it work for yourself, but to give that to someone else and now be able to see that transformation of I couldn't charge 1,000 to I don't even need to do outreach. And when they come to me, they wouldn't even consider 1,000 because they know that's like a cheap price just based on your positioning. Like, bro, that is awesome. So I guess like my question on from that is like, what do you think, from the coaching you worked with me, from our check-ins, from my calls, from any just discussions in the chat, what were the main things you think that contributed to, the mindset change and helping you change your positioning?
Because I saw you daily, how active, how proactive, and how energetic you are. I thought like, okay, let's just imagine that like I already have clients. Okay, I'm busy as Morgan. Okay, and also I travel like him. Let me ask him like what and how he does his things in daily life. So I asked you about like travel stuff, right? How do you manage to travel? Like I see you Instagram and you're in all places, like you're everywhere literally. And then you have your private life, and then you're also having your own hobbies like BJJ and all. And I'm here sitting, like I just wake up, switch on my laptop, and that's it. Like I just eat, sit down. I just eat, sit down, work, and then I do it till like past 11:30, 12, and I barely make any progress.
Mm.
And it doesn't mean that I just sit down and watch some kind of random YouTube videos. But if you see me, like I was like productive hack, like I do all the productive hack and all. But in the end, like it all doesn't matter unless you see someone who has already done it. Plus, you see how they're doing it. From then, like I barely work like 2 to 3 hours a day. Even if I have like much of the stuff which I have to do, I don't make it more than 6 hours a day because I don't want to burn out myself. Because I know how burnout affects and how like I just like sit down and don't do anything. Like it's like a continuous cycle. So I just want to make sure like I work like 3 to 6 hours a day, nothing more, and then I focus on my own health and all. Like if you see me, like I have grown like 10 kgs in weight. Okay, it's 10 kgs in pure muscle weight. I mean, even I am shocked. Like I'm like way stronger than before. To be honest, like I was able to incline bench press 100, doing deadlifts like 170, 180, like crazy stuff.
There you go, bro. I'm so happy it's like not just a business like change, it's impacted everything. Because that's what I want to give to people is that this business needs to build the life, that otherwise like
Yeah.
why have all the stress of running your own business if you're not going to use it to like actually live the life you want to live? You might as well just go have a 9 to 5, clock in, clock out, play your PlayStation, go to the pub, like have no stress, like and that's some people's path and that's fine. But I think the way you really embodied that and actually came to me asking for that, how are you traveling and working? How are you like managing this and this? Like and then actually taking action on it was crazy to see. And then like I guess you mentioned the traveling. So let's go into that. You then met up with like another guy in the group, didn't you? You've traveled to a few
Yeah.
things, haven't you?
Yeah. So for me, travel was a big issue because like I need to travel, I need to take my big ass laptop, which is like 2.5 kgs. Then I need to take the charger, which is even more bigger. Basically, I didn't have any proper setup, okay, when I
Yeah.
started off. So this was my big ass laptop. Okay, it's like basically I can do bicep curls with this.
Yeah, that's where the extra
That's
muscle come from.
Yeah. So to travel this thing is a pain in the ass because it's like 3 kgs, 3.25 kgs or something. I cannot travel with it. Once I made some money, I straight up went and took a decent, not decent, very good laptop, okay, which I'm using right now. Bro, that helped me a lot. Like wherever I go, I just take this thing, sit down in a restaurant or somewhere, work for like 1 hour, call it a day, and then travel, have fun with friends. That's it.
Yeah. There you go.
I met Sheen while I was in Vizag. Though that's a complete different experience. When I met with Sheen, he introduced me with his friend David, who has a company, ASO Brain or something in UK. I think you will know him, like if you met with Sheen. I never thought that these guys would be so nice to me because I was talking to them with everyone with online, but when it comes to in real life, those guys were like even more generous, even more. They wanted to mingle, like even though like whole situation around was messy, like
Mm.
the way. I mean, it's like um we became peers. Like I always saw Sheen as like someone like above me, But the way he acted, like I was like he treated me like a peer, he treated me like a friend and all. But in my mind, like first few minutes, it was like I saw him somewhere, and then he's treating me like my bestie. Bro, when I met him, he came with open arms and then hugged me. I was like, is this Sheen? I was in shock, I was shocked, freezed, and then he said, like, come in, sit with me, have breakfast with me. I was like, bro, is this Sheen? And how come he this tall when he's Chinese? Like, I mean, there were so many things, but like the dude is so hard and so generous, man. I need to meet with him again.
Yeah,
I did my best to give him a good hospitality, but I don't know like if you can meet him again. But yeah, I would like to meet him. Also, you and all the other guys.
yeah, that's it, bro. We need to make a like an in-person mastermind or a link up, a big like
Yeah.
group event or something. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that's so cool, bro. Like I said, like I want it to, because anyone can build anyone can make money online, but a lot of the paths to making money online is just like a glorified job. You're still 8 hours by the laptop. You've got someone telling you what you can and can't do. You've got, all of these things that are actually restricting you from going and doing the thing you want to do. And like I've done this myself, like you said, I had that, like I was traveling whenever I wanted, wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And then I took an opportunity with this company and they were like, no, we want you available these hours for these hours, so which meant I could only be in this certain time zone. They wanted so many things from me and I wasn't getting that back in return. They promised me the opportunities in this and I fell for it, so like those traps are out there in the online world as well. And that like removed a few months of progress for me, locked me here in the UK. I changed my travel plans. I wanted to go to Thailand, but it was the opposite, like obviously time zone, so I couldn't. So I think it's really cool that you've made some success in business, like managed to actually like stabilize that and make that your new baseline, your new normal, right? Because you can't like have a house, have a car, like go traveling, do all these things if your income's looking like this every month. It needs to be a
Yeah.
baseline. So it's awesome you've embodied that and like actually taken it to all areas of life. You've improved all aspects from health, experiences, friendships. It's like that mindset as well. Now seeing people as peers because everyone's your peer. In my opinion, we're all made in the image of God. So like
Yeah.
no one is better than you. We're not better than anyone. We're all equal. And the fact that even if it was just the tiny thing of meeting with Sheen that showed you that, that's great, because I know that's what first I met Ollie and I met those boys, it was that same feeling of like, oh, actually, we're all on this path together because it is a lonely game as well. If you're constantly, like you said, when, spending 12 hours on the laptop every day, just in your room, going from eating to like working to bed and repeat, it's like, what am I even doing this for? Whereas you taste a little bit of the good life of like, oh, my work produced this. Like you get infinite like motivation. So yes, really cool, bro. I'm really,
True.
really happy.
That's true. Even though when I'm dealing now with some of my family issues, like I think my mindset is so much better now that I'm dealing with everything in peace.
Mm.
Plus also, I think I'm more into side of biohacking and all, so that like I'm not crashing my energy on all these things which are like parasite energy training and all.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's been quite an interesting turn. Like I didn't expect it that.
Oh, I'm so happy, bro, honestly. And you were like, like an ideal client to work with. And, I know we joke about like my wedding and things like there's no way on YouTube, just before I get in trouble.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway, not yet, not yet. Before anyone thinks, where's my invite? I know we joke about those things, but like actually, I want to work with people that I would invite to my wedding. I want to work with people that I would invite over to my house, and we could have a cup of tea or a coffee or whatever it is. We can have a talk, and we can like have connections outside of just like email marketing or copywriting. Because I think like a lot of these groups are just big circle jerks of people that
Yeah.
like specialize in this weird little niche that all they talk about is like scaling. It's like, no, there's so much more to this life than scaling and writing copy, so it's awesome that you've taken it on, you've improved your health, you feel better, and like you said, mentioned your family stuff. Like, bro, I know when there's issues going on in my family, it's nice to be able to be in a position where, okay, I can take a day off work today and go be with them. Or, oh, if there's a money issue, oh, here, like solve that, like I've got younger brothers, he found himself in Croatia, well, my eldest younger brother, he found himself in Croatia the other week on a football tour, out of money, and he obviously doesn't want to text his mum or dad, like, I've run out of money while I'm out drinking with my friends, and like to be able to be like, right, here you go, enjoy your holiday, it's a nice feeling. And I think like it's great that you can be that person for your family all through your own efforts, and all through, it wasn't luck, it wasn't that you learned a new skill, it wasn't that you scammed people and used some tactic. Like you took the hard work you'd already done, you positioned it yourself better through working on that internal script and actually seeing your value. You delivered great results for people. Those results got you more people, and it's just created this positive, like upward spiral. So it's so good to see. And I guess then like the last thing I'd want to ask you then is like, what would you say to someone sitting on the fence? They want to about to work with me for this next 6 months. They want to go on a similar transformation as you, whether it's like, they want to make more money. Obviously, that's the main thing, right? It all sort of leads from that, but something's stopping them. What would you say to someone like sitting on the fence? What should they do from here?
If you're listening, I'm from India. Okay. You know about India, what everyone says. If you see me now, like making good money, having good connection, talking with him, meeting people like somewhere from Hong Kong and living a good life, helping family, like helping my brother, bro, like what else do you have to lose? If you don't take it, you're losing it. I know like how much I suck, but I'm 25. Actually, I'm 26 right now. I just had my birthday like last week. I'm 26 right now. Okay. If I hadn't take that in January, I don't know like how would I be right now in these 6 months. Okay. 6 months changed me a lot. Okay. Right now, even I'm planning for like having a wedding and all something like that. But if you're still stuck, like if you're in your 20s still stuck, like bro, see what 6 months can do to me. Okay. And remember, I'm from India. Like you might be from even better place. Okay. Like if like and you have Morgan, like what else do you have to lose? Okay. Morgan was one of the main reason I was able to like take responsibility of myself, see what he's doing, and then replicate the whole thing for myself. Obviously, I have my own eyes and all to make things work. But the whole thing was I was able to see someone who was already doing. Plus, he's a bit younger than me, which also pissed me off. Sorry for that. But yeah, like you need to have someone who is already ahead so that you can push yourself. And then obviously at one time or other you can become peers and then you can become great friends. Have some good food, travel, play with them. Bro, like a lot of good things you can do.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. I really appreciate that. And you're 100% right. And I like the bit you added, like you had your own spice. Like it's so true. And everyone does, right? Like you watching this now, you have that thing, your edge, the thing that makes you uniquely you, that is making you excellent at the things you do. And people recognize you for it. You know, the people around you see it in you, but you don't for whatever reason. And it's like often all it takes is removing that smoke and mirrors and seeing yourself in a slightly different light from people that, are looking at you and seeing that. And I was like, oh, hang on, I already am him. I've already got all these things, and then pair that with a couple of like proven frameworks, whether that's from outreach to closing to like fulfillment for clients. It's like you're unstoppable. So, bro, I really, really appreciate you jumping on here today and taking the time to, give that information to the people and sharing your experience, working with me. It's like been a night and day difference seeing, the growth in you. It's amazing, absolutely transformative. Like I said, you're a dream client, bro. You took action, you got feedback, you implemented the feedback, you got pissed off with your situation and actually had urgency with it as well. Like, I've been there, bro, and I think it's something that everyone needs. So yeah, again, I really, really appreciate you taking the time to jump on here. Where can like people find you if they want to get you on social media, if they want to work with you, like plug your stuff.
You can find me in Instagram. It's like Altaf Mohammed. Like I will send the link to Morgan. It will be in the description.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, like you can reach out to me on Instagram, and then we can talk about more stuff there. And
awesome.
also, I would like to add one more point that a lot of which I was able to do is because of having someone who saw me in the state where no, like in a very vulnerable state, and then didn't judge it. Or like it's like we are so accustomed to not to show our vulnerable self, so that like we won't be in a place of getting hurt. Okay, we need to get past to that and show what's hurting you to a person. Like I mean, basically believe in some person and then show your vulnerable self so that he can build you better. I
Yeah.
think that's the main thing.
I love that, bro. I completely agree. And like you said, with even if it's someone like younger than you, and it's like, oh, I can, you got two choices here. You either take a slight ego hit, as the world would see it, and you put yourself in this vulnerable position. You're like, well, I can either ignore this and like not let this ego hit and just stay here forever, or I can be vulnerable. I can expose my problems. I can go to someone that solved those problems. We can work together and move past it. That happened with me with seeing like Ollie being younger, making a load of cash, and I was like, what is he doing that I'm not doing? Like I'll go to him and be like, look, what am I missing? And a lot of people won't do that, especially I think like there is a lot of ego in a lot of these like online like coaching communities where you're paying every month and it's not like a set program. It's like they're all trying to keep their position in the hierarchy in the program. They're all trying to keep their framing. They've all got this image
Mm.
that they think everyone sees them as, but it's like half the time that script that you're running in your head, that image that you're holding of yourself is the exact thing keeping you stuck. So I think the fact that you could take that little like ego hit, expose where the issues that you wanted to work on, and then we work on them. That's the reason why you went from not being able to charge a grand to clearing 5K months, huge 12K rev share deals, like all of those things only in a 4 month period, by the way, as well. Like all of that
Yeah,
stuff
for
only happened, because of that initial ego hit and you being vulnerable and working on it. So yeah, I really appreciate you, brother. Amazing call, and thank you so much for jumping on it.
sure. Thanks a lot, brother.